Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Show No Mercy show. We got a little special show for you today with a lot of good things to talk about, and we got some music for you. We're gonna start out with a little Without a Face, Rat Poison. Here we go. Check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, Without a Face, Rat Poison. Whoa, what a way to start off the show. Speaking of heavy music, we got some Escuela grind over here. Katarina, she is picking the heaviest band, in her opinion, right now for Revolver Magazine. Let's see what Katarina's doing here. Hold on real quick. Let me bring it over to you. Oh, there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Katarina from Escuela Grind. All right, you guys ready? Let's see. It's got to be something cool we don't even know about. Okay.
What's up? I'm Katarina, the vocalist of Escuela Grind, and the heaviest band right now, in my opinion, is Peeling Flesh.
Peeling Flesh, ladies and gentlemen.
If you want to call them slam, if you want to call them beat down disguised as slam, I don't care. Whatever abomination you want to call them, that's what they are, because they are badass. This band is heavy.
Okay, first take at this. Like, why do you have to read off a fucking cue card? She's reading off a cue card here. This is her real opinion. Why can't she just express herself without reading off a cue card? Ask me if I'm reading off of cue cards in here. There ain't no cue cards in here. Everything is my real opinion. I don't need to read off a cue card to have an opinion. Look at it. I mean, that's a cue card, ladies and gentlemen. Can't deny that.
Numbers, and I am so floored and excited by their success. They're just getting so many young kids into just like real heavy music. Nothing is harder when you mix a brutal
cue cards all day.
With just
Can't even finish a thought. Can't even finish 3 words about the band without having to revert back to the cue card.
ignorant riff. Like, that combination is always good. Brutal sample, ignorant riff. Check out the Oklahoma.
Brutal samples and ignorant riffs. Wow. The brutalist samples. I feel like Peeling Flesh, they have some samples, obviously, that could that could be considered brutal. Of course, brutal. But for the most part, a lot of Peeling Flesh's samples are comedic. They're like funny samples. They're not necessarily brutal. They do have some brutal stuff. I get it. And ignorant riffs.
And support them whenever they're in your city on tour. I have to say, they're such nice, genuine, and supportive people as well. So that's always a plus. Peeling Flesh, happiest band right now.
Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first here. Peeling Flesh. I mean, come on. That Peeling Flesh is one of the heaviest bands out there. But come on, they're just clout chasing at this point, because Peeling Flesh, their style of slam is so popular right now. It's the most basic answer to possibly give in this scenario. And Peeling Flesh has probably double the followers of Escuela Grind. So this is strictly a clout pull here. That's my opinion. There could have been a bunch of other bands that are coming up that are, I mean, fucking Without a Face, dude. How's that for heavy? Without a Face is probably one of the heaviest things I'm hearing lately, besides my motherfucking boys, Orphan. And I know that despite the beef between Orphan and Peeling Flesh, I mean, fuck, you can't deny that Orphan has some of the heaviest riffs, ignorant riffage out there. I mean, fuck. I'm actually really happy that they had to go through the turmoil that they went through in Strangled to develop these 2 bands, Peeling Flesh and Orphan. I think Orphan is a little bit behind in the popularity contest right now, but I think it's because they're kind of more underground. They're recovering from this whole nightmare with Peeling Flesh. If you guys don't know, Strangled was a band. Strangled was one of the heaviest bands I've ever heard in my life. It didn't really last too long. By the time I kind of found out about them, they were already broken up, and you would see their music go on and off of music platforms and social media and YouTube and it would just disappear. It would be there for a little bit. I would be super happy. I'd listen to the album for weeks straight, and then the music would disappear. And I guess the original guys in Strangled, 2 of them are actually in Peeling Flesh. You got Michael Soto, and then you got Joe, whatever his name is, the drummer. They were in Strangled. With who they call the Mathis brothers, or the 2 singers. I think one of the brothers also played an instrument in the band as well, in Strangled. And then the band, there was some legal troubles. They split off. The Mathis brothers started Orphan, and the other 2 guys, Michael Soto and Joey, started Peeling Flesh. And Peeling Flesh kind of just took off. I mean, I saw Peeling Flesh here at the Nile a while ago, and I mean, they sold out a slam show. It was absolutely insane. Shout out, great show, by the way. Fucking guys are heavy. There's no doubt about it. But this is just a basic answer, clout chasing. I could totally see it for what it is. I mean, you're reading off a fucking cue card. Did you guys all discuss, hey, what's the heaviest trending band right now in our genre? Oh, Peeling Flesh. We gotta say that so we can tag them and all this and whatnot. They're just, Peeling Flesh got like, I think 100,000 followers. I think Escuela Grind's sitting at like 50K right now. So it's just a grab to try to get more followers. But you can't deny the fact that there is a lot of people that fucking hate Escuela Grind, and there's a lot of reasons why. It's just they're easy they're easy to hate. I saw Escuela Grind live last year, I believe, in Mesa, and the thing that kind of turned me off from Escuela Grind, I went there to go see them because I was a big fan. We've mentioned Escuela Grind on the podcast before and featured some of their music. And when I was there, they like, you know, it was between a song, you know, and they got to do their social justice warrior shit. And they were basically like, where's all my brown people at? And everybody were, yeah. Then they were like, where's all my black people at? And then they just like played the song. Mind you, the majority of the crowd was a Caucasian. I mean, and those people are just sitting there waiting for their turn, and they didn't really get a turn. I mean, how is that for equality and singling out a group of people based on their skin color, dude? Whoa, I was kind of blown away. And that really happened. That really happened at a show. So I've kind of, I still follow Escuela Grind, but I mean, I got my targets. I got my crosshairs on them because I don't think that was cool. I don't think that was right. I felt weird. I mean, the majority of the people that paid for your show to come and see you were white, but they didn't get no props. Just the colored folks got the props. I don't know. Ass backwards, and it goes along perfectly with the stuff on Reddit that I'm reading about them and their tours and how they treat people and how they deal with sexual harassment. They turn a blind eye. They act one way, but their actions say different. So a lot of people don't like Escuela Grind. And so, you know, in a trolling manner, I brought up that Orphan was heavier. Strangled is the heaviest, and Orphan is second to that in the scheme of heavy, aggressive music, violent music. So I said the opposing band in the scenario. Just bringing up Orphan, I think, in a post like this is hilarious to me. Because there was some legal troubles. From what I've gathered, I am an attorney in bird law. I'm an expert, and so I did some digging and looking through the court documents for the with the peeling flesh orphan case, and basically I put it in ChatGPT and had it dumb it down for me. And what happened, what seems like happened is the guys from Peeling Flesh were releasing the music and they weren't supposed to be, because the music after the split technically belonged to the LLC or the company that the Mathis brothers started. So they had no business making money. Apparently they were making money off of Strangled tracks, maybe Strangled merch. I don't know if that's true. I'd have to read the document again or had ChatGPT read it for me. But from what I gathered, the Peeling Flesh guys were not supposed to be doing that. I mean, they might have felt entitled to the riffs and some of the music, but at the end of the day, if there's a legal document saying that this music belongs to Feral Records, which I believe is owned or has something to do with the Mathis brothers from Orphan, then I mean, you know, the law is the law, motherfucker. Yeah, we can double check all that, you know what I'm saying, but let me see here. We also, there's some comments. So I brought up Orphan here, and let me show you some of the comments that I got. Somebody told me that was a bad take that I had, saying Orphan was the heavier band. And let me show you this. This is kind of some of the conversation that we had here. It was with a gentleman that is basically, this guy is, if he was a slam volume, he'd be Simpaholics Volume 1. I got it right here. Let me show you. Let me shut you up real quick. So this guy, let me see here. Pat Hill, you see, he tells me that this take is bad, that I have a bad take, saying that Orphan's a heavier band. And I responded with, nah, it's the proper take. Trust. These kids just go with whatever is trending, and Peeling Flesh slam shit is trending so hard right now. Okay. Because that's my opinion. Peeling Flesh is trending in the community. Everybody knows Peeling Flesh. Now, let me show you why this man is so pressed. And I'll show you his response real quick. Let me see here. Let me shoot it over here. And then he tells me, it's a shitty opinion. And it's funny you say that, considering a couple of videos ago, you used their music, but call it shit. They're my friends. Why don't you get some so you can have or get more positivity in your life? Okay, and so, of course, I'm going to go into this with him. And I said, I never called Peeling Flesh's music shit. Fake news guy. I'm a fan of Peeling Flesh. Show me where I said their music was shit. Just like the rest of the intoxicated, under the influence weirdos that make false claims when someone has a different opinion. I feel strong about this. Nowhere did I say that Peeling Flesh's music was shit. I said everybody's into the Peeling Flesh slam shit right now, dude. How do you not get that? So then he goes on and starts talking to me about commas and that I'm stupid, basically, because I didn't use commas. So he thought I called their music shit. Let me show you this too. Here we go. So I love the fact that he brought up the fact that he's friends. I love that he brought up that he's friends with Peeling Flesh. And he says it more times than what he already mentioned. So I respond with, oh, they your friends? I just got off the phone with Demonte, I think his name is, Demonte Harris. He said your name rings a bell and that you look familiar type shit. And then he goes, you said it right on this comment. Peeling Flesh slam shit. Maybe you should use commas, my guy. Got me. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it was pretty straightforward. All right. And then so it goes on. Let me see here. And then basically I go and I look through this guy's Instagram, which he's now blocked me. I got blocked from Pat Hill 91. Pat _Hill _91. He blocked me. Just because we had a little disagreement. And then I went on and I looked at all of his pictures, and not one picture. I mean, when I post something, you know who's the first to comment and first to like it, or, at the least give it a little heart reaction? My friends. Everything I do. I love you guys. You're so supportive, my friends. They're always supporting everything I do. I could take a picture of my shit in a toilet. All of my friends would come and they would love it. They would comment, Joey, you're the best. This guy's crazy. They'd give me some likes. It'd be great. They might even share it. Interesting. When I went on Pat Hill is an aspiring slam artist, by the way. It's claiming he's friends with Peeling Flesh. I find that at the most, I find he's friends with Michael Soto, the guy that was in Strangled that's in Peeling Flesh now. He's friends with Michael Soto. I started looking at Pat Hill's pictures, and it's weird. Even when he's posting his music stuff with his little guitar and his little recordings of his slam stuff, Michael Soto ain't on there giving him a like. He's not on any of them. He's not liking it. He's not commenting on it. Pat Hill, you ain't friends with Michael Soto. You ain't friends with Peeling Flesh. They don't know who you are. Fucking stop, dude. Shots fired at Pat Hill 91. Unblock me. Unblock me or I'm going to beat you up, dude. I'm going to beat you up. All right, so that's the I love to there's some comments on this Instagram as well saying like Katarina, look at this back. Look at your.
What's up? I'm Katarina, the vocalist of Escuela.
Oh yeah. So right here,
and the
people are.
Band right now, in my opinion, is peeling.
People are commenting on how nice this kitchen looks. The cherry wood cabinets, the beautiful backsplash. I mean, people's hey, nice kitchen you got there. And Katarina has to. I can't let you know that my parents are rich as fuck right now, dude. I can't. I'm in a grind band. Grind's about to grind, and you're struggling to go on tour. Her parents pay for everything. Her dad's owns half of the place, the whole city that they live in. But she can't let anybody know that she has rich, wealthy parents. She can't let anybody know that this is a $1 million kitchen because that ain't punk rock. That ain't punk rock. Why didn't you shoot this in a fucking garage? Like the rest of us. I'm in a garage right now. Anyway, I thought that was pretty hilarious too. But what's even crazier are the claims that we're seeing on Reddit here. Let me bring up some Reddit action here. Let's listen to some music. I'll bring up the Reddit action. Let me see. I got another song for you. Another heavy band that isn't doing as hot as Peeling Flesh. We got Psycho Frame in the house. You could have called out some Psycho Frame. Would it hurt you to play a little Fog Hat? We're gonna listen to Bone Crown Deformity by Psycho Frame. Psycho Frame is actually going to be in Mesa at the Nile Theater with Angel Maker. And that's coming up this week. I believe it's either the 23rd or the 24th. Nile Theater, go check it out. Look at the Nile's website. We're going to listen to some Psycho Frame, Bone Crown Deformity. Guys, check it out. Hey, we're gonna keep it going. Play that new shit that we just found. It's Peacemaker FL, Peacemaker, Florida, I believe, and it's 5 ways to hide a dead body. Let's give it up for that Peacemaker FL. Let's go.
Where you go, no matter what you do, I'm gonna hunt you down. I'm gonna hunt you down, and then I'm gonna slit your throat. And then I'm gonna cut you open, and then I'm gonna eat your motherfucking heart! Shut your filthy fucking mouth! Wait until I die! Another word from you, and I'll cut out your fucking tongue! Shut your filthy fucking mouth! Wait until I die! Another word from you, and I'll cut out your fucking tongue! Shut your filthy fucking mouth! Wait until I die! Another word from you, and I'll cut out your fucking teeth!
Anybody know where to hide a dead body?
Ladies and gentlemen, holy fuck. Psycho Frame. They're gonna be tearing up the Nile Theater here in the next couple of days. I'm really highly considering going because they are actually probably one of the heaviest bands. There's so many out there right now. There's so many out. I don't necessarily disagree with Katarina, but there's just so many other ones out there that aren't trending as hard that you could have given a little shout out, given a little help to. That's all I'm saying. Forgive me, for he has risen. Forgive us this day, or all that. So I had brought up some of that. I just brought up one story. The first story that I click on with this Escuela grind stuff is right here by this guy, Nose Nachos. Nose Nachos says, if anyone recalls, I drove for a band for a bit. There was a lot of mistreatment throughout the entire tour, not just for myself, but I kept my mouth shut where I could and just hung in there until I saw an exit. I looked crazy on the internet for a second, pushing people until I got some form of apology. But the apologies never came. I never got paid in full. You kicked my best homie out of the band, and you clowns are on your way home. So let's fucking get it. Jesse, how fucking dare you speak to people? I think Jesse is the drummer or the guitar player. I don't remember exactly, but he's one of the guys in the band. Jesse, how fucking dare you speak to people the way you do? Whether it be people working for you, your friends, your bandmates, you are trash. You think the shit you do and say is just going to disappear? You can delete hate comments, but you can't delete my experience, and you can't get rid of the people you fucked over. You boasted about leaving people on the side of the road. Informed me I was simply your employee when I brought up concerns about the van and the trailer. You hired a fucking tour manager that sexually harassed me every day. Pathetic coward. I mean, these Escuela grind, the social justice warriors, you know, shouting out, you know, all the colors except for the majority of the color that was at their show, and then playing off that they're all about equality, you know. I mean, this kind of goes into it. It's like we act one thing, we portray ourselves as one thing, but our actions say different. So this kind of, to me, this rings a bell. This correlates with what I had experienced with them or watching them play. I don't know them personally, but I mean, I'm a pretty good judge of character. I thought that stood out to me. I was there to support you, and I thought that was weird of you to do and say. And I'm not even a white guy. I'm just saying, if you want to be about equality all the way, not just, you know, cherry pick. And I mean, obviously they're a real woke band, and so I'm sure that they speak up against sexual harassment, and they would do one of these things where Katarina's reading off a cue card about, you know, how cool it is to say something, and you know, if you see something, say something. But then you have stories like this, and I mean, I don't know the credibility of Nose Nachos, but this kind of jives with a lot of other things that have been brought up about this band, and I think that's where the hate comes from. It's old school. The hate for Escuela grind is old school. First of all, let's just talk about the not really grind. You have grind in your name, and you're not really grind. Grind. They act the part, but they're in $1 million mansions. Yeah, that I mean, and it's like all, you know, all the people that go off, and it's usually dudes that are, you know, have to say something. If I say something, that, you know, hey, strangled's better, orphan's better. Then you have all the fucking simps coming out of the woodwork because they think Katarina is going to give them a hand job at the end of the day for their good deeds of standing up for her. Come on now. I mean, I just watched the documentary, the Kidfluencer documentary. And I thought it was interesting how these kid YouTubers, you know, these little girls get so popular, these little girls and boys, and they get so popular. And then you find out that 90% of their followers are like 55-year-old men jerking off because they're fucking weird pedos. That translates to this: all the little simps coming out the woodwork because they think that they're going to come in on their knight in shining armor and defend Katarina for some kind of clout or some kind of props, and so you can approach her at the next show and say that you defended her. Don't worry about all the haters. But yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, Escuela Grind's they're trying to get popular. Their music is not as good as I thought it was in the beginning. I liked them because I was on a tirade of wow, look at all these fucking cool metalcore style metal bands with the strong front woman. Not coming from a place of being a weirdo. I just thought it was cool because they're just coming out the woodwork. I was all for it. And then you start. It's not that good. I mean, they got the trans guitar player. I think she's the sweetest one out of them all. Maybe a heroin addict, possibly, but I think she's the sweetest one out of the entire band. But I think they use her. And her trans. They use her and her sexuality to, I don't know, get a leg up so they can secure LGBTQ fans. I mean, I'm there. I'm at the show paying money. It's all about equality. I don't care what your situation is, how you like to, how you feel. I'm there for the music. And you bring all this politics, and then it makes me think about your politics because you bring the politics up. You bring the social justice shit up. So then it makes me think, and then it makes me really pay attention to how you're treating people. I don't know. That's just my opinion on the whole thing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Escuela Grind. All right, let's in celebration, let's go ahead and knock out another song here. I got a heavy one for you. In lieu of this whole, it's Orphan with Hourglass. Check it out.
Your emergency? Emergency? I'm sorry? You don't want to hurt yourself, okay? We're going to get you some help. I just shot everybody. You just shot everybody?
Ladies and gentlemen, Orphan securing their spot as the heaviest band right now, in my opinion. Hi, my name is Bodega Joe from Show No Mercy, and the heaviest band right now is Orphan. They're just so brutal. All right, let's get to the next subject. I'm done destroying that. Let me see here. Let's go here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Rampage Jackson from the UFC, my man, about to fucking snuff somebody out at the bar. Let's check this out. This is great. Check this out. This just happened. I think this video just dropped. I could be wrong. I get my news a little bit late sometimes, but let's see what happens at this bar.
Hey, come here. Did you just push him? Why?
So Rampage is confronting a guy that he can obviously kill, but apparently this guy's drunk. I think he's drunk. It looks like he's drunk. They're at a bar. Why wouldn't he be? Rampage looks sober to me. But apparently this guy pushed Rampage's cameraman. So deal with the wrath.
Hey, he got the fucking camera. He didn't push you. All right. Get the fuck out of here before I fuck you up, bitch. I watched everything. You a fucking bitch. Hey, don't you ever touch my fucking cameraman.
Don't fucking do that shit.
Guess what?
Then you got this lady coming in here like she's gonna do something. Rampage will knock your fucking ass out too, dude. He didn't do anything. The worst thing you could do in this scenario as a woman is stick your fucking nose in the business.
push this guy for no reason.
No, he didn't fucking
I
touch
saw
me.
everything.
Don't
It's on fucking camera. It's on fucking camera. It's on fucking camera. It's on fucking camera. It's on fucking camera.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rampage Jackson. Oh, I think there's more. Let's see. Oh no, that's the beginning. Yeah, Rampage Jackson just going off on this. It's great. I thought it was great. Rampage Jackson. Not too long ago, also kind of got into it with Kevin Holland. Did you guys see this? Kevin Holland, the current UFC fighter. I think he hasn't really been winning many fights lately, but he made it to the I believe they call it the Jackson podcast or something like that. It's the gold chains that they promote. Let's check it out. Rampage Jackson and Kevin Holland. Oh, you know what? I actually have it in my notes right here. Let's see if that brings it up. There it is.
I think it's an ego problem. That's what I think.
Think it's an ego problem?
That's what I think. You said you.
I don't have much of an ego.
Let's watch this awkward interview with Rampage Jackson and Kevin Holland. Apparently, there was a situation where when Kevin Holland fought Michael Venom Page in the weigh-ins or the face-off or something, Michael Venom Page did his thing, and then Kevin Holland grabbed it, and Rampage made a joke about it that it looked a gay, which it kind of did. It looked a little fruity to do. So they just, Rampage is known for being kind of funny and saying whatever's on his mind, but he made fun of Kevin Holland for it, and Kevin Holland's a little bitter about it. And so now they're on this podcast, and Kevin has a little chip on his shoulder.
Unless we're sitting across the table, we're both shooting 45-70s. We're trying to see who can hit the target. I don't have much of an ego.
Well,
Do you know what a 45-70 is?
I'm just telling.
Do you know what a 45-70
I'm just telling my opinion.
So something happens with, they're talking about ego, and then Kevin Holland said he doesn't have much of one, and then starts talking about a 45-70, which is a lever action rifle. We like the 45-70, but Kevin Holland is now questioning Rampage's manhood, discussing the caliber of a bullet. I don't really understand how it's related, but
Opinion about my temper tantrum?
Yeah, I mean, I feel you 100%.
Okay, it's an opinion,
I'm just
right?
saying, like, if it's not a 45-70 that we're shooting across the room, trying to see who hits the target, I'm not worried about it. Do you know what a 45-70 is?
No, I don't.
Okay, then shut the fuck up.
Oh, shit, shut the fuck up, Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland, shut the fuck up, Rampage. You don't even know what a 45-70. Why are you wearing safety glasses? Kevin Holland's over here wearing safety glasses.
Yeah, you don't understand what a 45-70 is.
Why is he wearing... Are they real? Oh, they must be like actual prescription glasses. I thought he was wearing safety glasses.
We're talking about ego. Now I'm giving you some ego.
Okay. So,
ego is when you don't understand what a 45-70 is.
Okay, so
that pisses me off.
That pisses you, because I don't know what a 45-70 is.
That fucks with my ego a little bit. What type of man are you don't know what a 45-70 is?
Because I don't know what a 45-70
is. Questioning the manhood. Whoa, we're getting into it. Wow. Let's see.
Retarded.
Yeah.
I don't know what a 45-70 is.
Yeah.
Do you know what a 45-70 is?
I would assume that it's an AR, some sort of...
Just say no. You don't know.
I would assume that it's AR of some type of AR. Assault rifle.
Let's see here.
I assume that it's some type of gun, but do I know what a 45-70 is?
No, you should know what a 45-70 is.
What is it, Kevin? Tell us
You're a big guy. You should know what a 45-70 is.
Why should I know what a 45-70 is?
It's a little bit smaller than a 50 cal.
It's a little bit smaller than a 50 cal?
I mean, probably a lot smaller.
Actually, no, it's a lot smaller than a 50 cal, dude. I mean, it's a big round, don't get me wrong, but Jesus, it's not a 50 cal. It's not close to a 50 cal. So Kevin Holland, maybe he just shot a 45-70 over the weekend, and now he's feeling himself, but he doesn't really know shit about guns either.
What state do I live in?
You need to live in Texas.
But what state do I live in?
Then you can see about that ego we're talking about.
But what state do I live in?
Other than that, you shouldn't worry about ego. You should worry about being retired. That's what we had a conversation about last time.
What state do I live in, though?
I don't know. You tell me.
What state are you in right now?
I think you have a lot of money. You should have houses in multiple states.
Well, you don't know. I don't brag about what I got.
I mean, I said that I think you should.
Kevin,
you don't know that I don't.
You shoot guns?
Sometimes.
Well, and you like to shoot ARs, handguns. What do you shoot?
I like the 45-70.
Yeah.
We can see that.
Yes, we've heard the 45
Big ass
45-70.
If you were to play
good for you.
football, I'm assuming your number would be 45.
Big guy.
I like the AR. That's what I'm trained on.
So what would you shoot in the AR then?
I said what?
What caliber do you shoot with the AR?
This is a really good question, too, to catch you off guard. I train with the AR. And then Kevin's like, well, what caliber do you use? Let's see. Is he going to say it? 223? 5.56? I mean, what do you shoot?
What caliber?
Yeah, you said ego, so now I'm giving you my ego. This is where my ego steps in. So which caliber do you use? Because it comes to ego to fighting, I don't have much one. But it comes to ego, you want an ego with something, I'm going to tell you what the ego is for.
I like the AR.
Well, what caliber do you shoot?
He doesn't know. Caught him off guard.
I would say maybe a 22.
No, it's not a 22.
I would hope not.
You can't shoot a 22 with AR. I see exactly.
I mean, if you're going to...
You can shoot a 22 with an AR platform. Yes, you can. I'm going to educate you guys here today. There's AR platforms that shoot 9mm. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Just make something up.
22, I mean,
Kevin, what do you...
You and my son might have some competition. You're a big guy, so
but
I expect you to shoot something a little bigger than that.
We took Rampage, Luke, Cheeto, we took all the boys shooting. We went to go shoot with the sheriffs and down here in Orange County, the guys who protect us. So shout out to the law enforcement.
Shout out.
And they
Thin blue line.
shoot ARs, handguns. They also let us pick up a bunch of new Glocks. And during this private training session, they also came out to our paintball park, SE Village in Chino, California, and SWAT does a lot of training there during the week. Mm-hmm. So they let people use these rubber paintballs in a way, and they use that for tactical training. And they have all kinds of different gauges, calibers of guns, and they have like these tactical assault weapons that you're able to go and clear houses with.
Which caliber does Jackson like?
Oh, I mean, Rampage, I don't really think he's a gun guy.
You gotta have a caliber.
No, I don't.
Here, let's break this down though, so we can help for the audience watching. What is your favorite type of gun to shoot?
We
I love my lever action, 45-70.
Oh, you like a lever action 45-70?
It's the government. Go hunt with it anywhere.
Is that what you shoot when you go out hunting? I heard that you're an avid hunter.
I like to get my first kills with the 45-70.
And then what else do you keep on you?
I like a 308, which I was hoping Rampage would say.
No.
Interesting, ladies and gentlemen. What the fuck was that? And then Kevin Holland goes on and says he wants to fight Rampage. Like he's mad. He's mad about what he said, and he wants to fight Rampage about the grabbing of the hand gesture thing that Rampage made fun of. Let's see if we can find the fighting one. Let me see here. Let me see. Let's see with this one. There you go. This is a decent one.
Yeah, that's the last thing he want to do is fight me, though. That's the last thing.
I still want to. I don't give a fuck about the fight on Saturday.
No, you don't want to fight. No.
Just being real.
I'm being real with you, young buck. You
I'm
don't
just
want to
letting
fight.
you know.
Sometimes people don't know what they want.
Yeah.
You don't want to fight me.
Yeah.
I feel like, Kevin, you have a very unique reputation.
Known for fighting everybody.
You're known for
and
fighting
anybody.
at all times.
Don't care who they are.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's the last thing he want to do is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Holland and Rampage. Could you imagine? Think what would happen? Rampage has been out for a while, and Kevin's pretty active. What do you think would happen? Rampage is a little older. I think Rampage slams him on his head, dude. What do you guys think? No way. Awkward. Very awkward scenario. I couldn't imagine dealing with that. All right, let's listen to some more music. This next band, I just heard about them yesterday. They are called Killing of a Sacred Deer. And this song is called 25.4 millimeters away from death. Let's check it out. just saying, there's heavy bands out there. Killing of a Sacred Deer, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't heard of them, go check them out. They're pretty badass, pretty heavy, pretty redonkulous, if you ask me. I don't know. They may not be trending, but they're heavy. All right, next thing. Oh, fuck, man. I've had an opinion about this for a long time, and I haven't really spoke on it before. But just a few months ago, your fat, chubby boy, crybaby, murderer, Kyle Rittenhouse was on the Anti-Hero podcast. All right. He was on the Anti-Hero podcast. I've watched this podcast a few times. These guys were trying to be a part of taking Tim Kennedy's tab away from him, his Special Forces tab, when your boy Tim Kennedy's out here committing war crimes and writing about it. And yeah, that's a whole different subject. You guys can go look into that. But you got Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse was the Kenosha killer. He's the guy that went out during the riots around the time of like COVID, George Floyd, and he went to go clean his neighborhood up during a riot and found himself shooting a few people, killing a person. Now, I do have the opinion that I do think that it was self-defense. I do believe that it was self-defense. There's no way around it. If you disagree, it is what it is. But I believe that Kyle Rittenhouse defended himself, and he eliminated a threat that was going to probably eliminate him if he didn't do so. Now, I do have another opinion about the situation where I don't think that this fucking guy should have been out there in the first place. I really don't. I really don't think that. I believe some of it was, I'm going to go here and do this righteous thing and clean up. But he knew, being a little young white kid in the middle of a riot, he knew shit could get hairy. That's why he brought an AR-15 with him that night. I mean, he had to have known. He brought medkit. He brought an AR-15. He was running out there like he was some type of first responder guy, you know? And he ended up killing somebody and shooting some other people. Now, I'm not defending them either, but I'm just saying you fucking knew that there was a big possibility you were going to be using that rifle. You shouldn't have been out there to begin with. You ain't one of us. You don't know violence like that. And then we had to watch you on trial fucking break down and cry about the whole thing. You should have never fucking been there, you giant pussy. Should have never fucking been there to begin with. You knew shit was going to pop off. If you didn't think that was a possibility at all, why bring a rifle? Why bring an AR? You knew it was dangerous. You knew that there was a high possibility somebody was going to fuck with you. And when this all goes down and people have weapons, the shit gets drawn. Little kids like you and fucking ignoramuses like the others pull out weapons that they aren't properly trained with and start shooting. I don't know. Like if I'm over here in downtown Phoenix and there's some gangster guy spray painting a wall, what do you think's going to happen if I'm like, let me get my gun and go and wipe this stuff off that this guy was just doing right now? What do you think's going to happen? He's going to be like, hey, motherfucker. And I'm going to be like, hey, what the fuck, dude? And it's going to be a thing. And then all of a sudden, next thing, fucking that. And that's it. You put yourself in the bad spot. And now everybody's praising you for defending yourself. Like I said, I'm all for self-defense, but this was, you kind of instigated a situation by just being there. You made a problem that wasn't there before. But let's watch him on the Anti-Hero podcast or whatever this shit's called. Let's check it out.
JV team for life.
Smoking cigars. This is what real men do. Smoke cigars on the podcast. Get a vape.
Still a little tired from shell shock, actually.
You sure you're not just old?
No.
That just happened.
Damn.
Right out of the gate.
Good. I know the boundaries
Spicy.
now. I know the boundaries now. I know where we're at.
There we go.
I'm not tired. I think mine's more alcohol induced. Not hungover, but you know how like when you drink too much alcohol and it's like you're like, oh, I don't feel hunger, but you just feel like blah.
Blah.
Yeah. It was just it wasn't like
He's not. He's
21.
old. Give him shit, Kyle.
I wear flat bills, so it makes me
Gosh.
look young. That's on purpose. I look like a skateboarder.
Yeah, he's come out for the Delta Force guy and no one else.
You know, I get it. You're a cop. You have gray hair.
Yeah.
You can't handle your liquor.
There you go. There you go. Keep going.
Those 9% alcohol drinks we had the other night at the brewery.
Brewery.
So I would.
The more I drink, the funnier that name sounds to me. Brewery.
It gets harder and harder to say the more drinks I have too.
There's a place in North Carolina called the Railroad Brewery.
Oh, that's a hard one.
And
The Railroad Brewery.
after about 4 or 5 drinks, it's just you can't pronounce it. It just doesn't sound right. Nothing rolls off the tongue right at that point.
We're just coming off of our shell shock weekend, so everybody's tired. I don't have a voice from screaming, at the top of my lungs for the
Tyler
main
was
act.
raving.
Yeah,
We had him.
I crowd surfed.
Yeah, well.
Did you see it? No, you left
just
right
decided
beforehand.
to.
I did it at the very end.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, shut the fuck up.
I was like, fine, I'll do it. And
I told handle stuff like that. You're not gonna do it again?
it was an experience, but I never crowd surfed before that, even when I was
of the BLM movement and your story, which slid right in there, and
it was a perfect storm of COVID, George Floyd, your case,
And sticking your fucking nose in a business that didn't belong to you.
and just the media.
and an agenda, and they went with it. And so we can't thank you enough for coming out here, telling your story. And so let's start from the beginning of sorts, whatever you call the beginning. And if you want to start at a different point, but I'll kind of throw a softball to you where I think the beginning starts. But I'll let you take it wherever you want. Is what brought you there? Is that a good starting point?
Yeah, so I grew up in Antioch, Illinois, on the border of...
Okay, you're not on the stand anymore. You're smoking cigars with the boys. But he has to basically watch. He's going to basically just repeat his testimony verbatim.
Antioch in Wisconsin, living in both. Kenosha County was my community. I actually worked in Kenosha County at the Recplex as a lifeguard. I was a lifeguard and swim instructor at the YMCA. I was a firefighter cadet, EMT cadet for the local fire department, and police explorer for the local police department. And that really taught me how to have a servant's heart. And that played a big role in me going down to Kenosha on August 25th. On August 24th, I was working my job at the Recplex, and the riots were kicking off. I was sent home from work early because we shut down the facility. I ended up going to my good friend Dominic Black's house, and when I was there, we were looking at the riots and watching all the videos because he lived right down the street from everything. And
then I was like, man, I got this idea. What if we took our rifles down there and pretended to start cleaning up after all these guys, and maybe we get into a little gunfight. I want to see if I can use this fucking thing. We're fake police officer guys. Let's see if we can go down there and stir some shit up, make people kind of crazy, and see if they bug me, and then see what happens.
You're good.
thank you, Tyler. I didn't know we were getting that close on camera.
We'll cut that out.
Oh, you're fine. And then we go to bed August 24th. We wake up in the morning and we say, hey, let's go down there and let's clean up some graffiti and see what we can do to help out. Sort of like what you're seeing right now in Florida and North Carolina and all these
same thing.
Communities that were devastated by all this damage from the hurricanes that just hit. There are a lot of people that were going out and doing something similar in Kenosha, just not cleaning up after a hurricane, cleaning up after people who wanted to write fuck 12 on the side of a school.
Yeah, the communities that destroyed themselves.
Yeah. Cleaning up after a disaster. But one could have been avoided, and the other one you can't avoid.
I don't know. I'm pretty big into that.
I'll tell you what could have been avoided. This whole scenario, if he never fucking went, he just stayed home and played video games like every other 12-year-old.
And stuff.
We got him. We got one more.
Got another one. And then we were walking around cleaning graffiti, and we ended up meeting the owners of the Car Source lot, who asked if we can come back later that night and help protect that business by putting out fires. And
hey, 15-year-old kids, do you just want to come out during the riots and protect me? That'd be kind of cool. Or did you say,
hey, we got rifles and stuff at home. We'll protect you. Does that sound cool?
I guess do whatever. I can't stop you. Sure, I guess. Cool.
We agreed. I grabbed my medical.
When you say we, who's we?
Me and Dominic.
Okay, got you.
Yep, me and Dominic. We agreed. We went back to Dominic's house, and then we had another friend, Nick Smith, who actually worked at the Car Source lot, who called us and asked us to come back out. And we said, yeah, the owners already asked us to come there and help. We're going to go out there. I brought my medical kit.
It was like when, do you guys remember when Lucas Botkin during the riots, he went to I think it was when he was living in Nashville at the time, and they looted up like a bunch of goons in the car with all their night vision and equipment because they wanted to go fucking on a raid. They wanted to see if they could smoke some inner city kids.
Bag. And I was providing first aid.
I was gonna say, the pictures, you're wearing gloves. You're wearing medical gloves.
Yeah, and I'm on video cleaning graffiti all day. I'm on video with the Car Source owners, and I'm photographed providing first aid and videoed, and everything besides I think 7 minutes of that entire night was on video. And while I was there, I provided first aid. I was asked to be there by the minority business owners. And while I was there, I was violently attacked by a man named Joseph Rosenbaum. And I'll dive into a little bit of their backgrounds. So Mr. Rosenbaum I think he was a 37-year-old man who spent 12 years in prison for anally raping a bunch of little boys. And this is a person who, a couple days prior to my shooting, was arrested for domestic violence to where he was unfit to stay at the jail to where they transported him to a mental health facility. When that mental health facility made the decision to release him on August 25th in downtown Kenosha, where all the chaos and violence was happening. This man, during the night, threatened to kill me multiple times. He said, if I catch you alone, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Was this he could see you? He was threatening you across the parking lot?
No, 2.5 feet away.
Shit, okay.
No. Oh, shit. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Rittenhouse. See what's going on here. So he's basically on the stand here with these guys. He's acting like this is another trial, and he's got to keep his story straight.
Did not know that.
No.
Yeah.
That was a big part of the trial because we had witness testimony that collaborated him threatening me, and I think there's an angle of a video out there somewhere on it, but after that a little bit of time goes by, I ended up getting separated from the guy I was walking around with that night to provide first aid to people with. So I go to the Ultimate gas station, and then I try to walk back to the Car Source lot number 2 where I was at a majority of the night. And as I was walking back, I told Ellie that I was working at that business, and Ellie told me to turn around and go to the gas station.
Is it Ellie law enforcement?
Yep, Ellie's law enforcement. And they told me to turn around. I protested with them a little bit, made my protest.
Rittenhouse is like, Ellie, you're like a SWAT guy. You don't know Ellie? You have to ask me, law enforcement. Ellie. Rittenhouse is over here trying to talk like a cop to the cop, and the cop doesn't understand his lingo.
Heard that, hey, I need to get back to that business. They said no, roger that. I went to the gas station where a couple minutes later I got a call from Dominic that they were setting the vehicles on fire at Car Source lot number 3, where the
So he's basically on trial here. These are the judges. Tell us what happened. Relive all the stuff you cried about when you were on trial. Let's rehash this with you, and so you can get your story straight for the umpteenth time after you've already been acquitted. Let's bring you on the podcast. Let's ask you about this whole fucking situation that we've already seen a million times play out on the internet and during the trial. Let's just kind of skip ahead on this one.
I know you were actually fired at as well.
Is that proven? Or?
Yeah, it's proven. It was a big part of the trial.
Okay.
Because that's what caused me to turn around.
Proven? Or?
Yeah.
That's something else I didn't know. I didn't know.
Gunshot at me, chucked something at me. I continue to run. Mr. Zeminski fires a gunshot at me.
Oh, shit. See, whoa.
Yeah, that's something else I didn't know. I didn't know you were actually fired at as well.
Is that proven? Or?
Yeah, it's proven. It was a big part of the trial.
Okay.
Because that's what caused me to turn around as I was running.
Like retreating is now not an option because you can be shot in the back.
Well, there were several things that made retreating a no longer reasonable option or a survivable option.
Yep.
As I'm running, I hear that gunshot, so I'm now being shot at. There are about 200 people in front of me armed with bats, guns, knives, you name it, they had it.
Thought it was a peaceful protest.
Yeah. Yeah, very peaceful. Mostly fiery, but peaceful.
Okay. All right.
And as I'm booking it, trying to get away from this man, I am trapped between 4 cars parked parallel from each other, and then somewhat diagonally across with the 200 people behind those cars in front of me. So I'm boxed in with the man who threatened to kill me, now closing distance, who said if he catches me alone, he was going to kill me. Well, I'm now alone. I'm being shot at. And this man, as I turn around, he jumps at me, and as he's lunging at me, he grabs my gun and he starts pulling it out. Trying to pull it out of my hands, and that's when I made the decision to fire the 4 shots after. A big part of the trial was the DNA and the evidence. We had stipling on his hands, and your law enforcement, your former Delta forces, you know you don't get completely black stipling if you weren't touching the gun.
Mm-hmm.
So we were able to prove his hands were on the gun through video and through DNA analysis, expert analysis. And then after that incident, the first shooting, I run around the vehicle because everybody dispersed. I was shot at again as I ran around the vehicle. I think it was 3 shots were fired at me after that. I fired 4 at Mr. Rosenbaum.
Wait, you already talked about those 4, though, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Striking him, and he ultimately passed away. All of my 4 shots were landed, and I was charged with reckless homicide of Mr. Rosenbaum and reckless endangerment of Richard McGinnis, a journalist who was following behind. Both of those were dismissed because the jury decided that there's not reckless endangerment when you're being attacked, which is true. After that, Mr. McGinnis gives Rosenbaum aid. A crowd's forming, and they're screaming, "Get his ass, kill him, get that motherfucker, cranium him." For those that don't know, cranium is the meaning of taking a gun and shooting them in the back of the head. Somebody screamed over to Anthony.
Slime him. They were yelling all kinds of cool shit. Slime him. Cranium him. Cranium him.
To truck fuck that motherfucker, and truck fucking is to bash their brains out with the skateboard.
Oh, okay. The trucks of a skateboard. Yeah,
truck fuck.
When we watched a video, we broke it down on Fair to Stop, and he wasn't going to hit you with the wood part. He purposely was using that piece of metal with that. Yeah.
Yep. As I'm running back to the police line, Mr. Grosskreutz approaches me, the man who I shot in the arm with the pistol, and he asked me.
He obliterated his fucking arm, though. I mean, that guy, got a big old chunk ripped out of his arm.
I was going. This time, he wasn't a threat. He was unarmed. I told him I'm going to the police. I had to do it. Right. And he backs off.
Kind of an odd question, don't you think? Like,
yep.
That's
And I'm being chased by hundreds of people. I'm being shot at. I have people saying they're going to kill me, and I'm hearing all this as I'm booking.
We heard you.
I could see the red and blues. I was really close. I just couldn't make it.
Yeah, because they were shotgun style way down the road.
Yep.
But you could see them. But okay.
Like I was a good block and a half, 2 blocks from them.
I'm sure it felt like forever.
Yeah.
At
Felt
that
like
point.
miles.
Yeah. Right.
Where are the police when you need them?
Exactly, right. They're only 2 blocks away. It actually defeats the whole argument if somebody's trying to kill you, call the police, because I didn't have 30 seconds to wait for the police. I need to do this now or I'm going to die.
Yeah.
After my interaction with Mr. Grosskreutz, I start running. I'm continuing to run, actively running towards the police line. I get a little further, and then I'm hit in the back of the head by by a guy in a white wife beater. He was never identified.
Really?
Yeah, with a concrete brick into the back of the head.
He hit you with a brick?
I think, I'm speculating because we didn't see what it was. It was a cupped hand with a very hard, bumpy object that hit me in the center of the back of the head.
While you were running?
While I was running.
Okay.
And then immediately after that, I was hit for the first time by Anthony Huber with the skateboard, causing me to lose balance and hit the ground. As I'm on the ground, I have people surrounding me 360 degrees, and I address every single one of them, and they all back up, and none of them got shot. And as soon as I did that, we had Jump Kick Man, the unidentified, uncomplaining witness, who decided he was going to continue. After I addressed him, he didn't stop. I fired 2 shots at him, missing. He hit me directly in the center of the face, almost causing me to knock out, driving my skull into the hard concrete for a 3rd head hit. And then immediately after that, Huber comes in for his 2nd attack, driving his knees into my chest, pulling my gun away from me, and driving his skateboard into the back of my head again. And after he hit me, I fired a shot. And then I thought it was over there. Mr. Grosskreutz, the man who asked where I was going, was now in front of me, towering over, armed with the Glock pistol in his hand.
Saw?
Yes, I saw the gun.
Now the truck, the skateboard left. It still has. There's an imprint in your head.
There's a little bit of an imprint in the back of my head.
So we're not talking again like. And some people will say, "Oh, he." I
mean, we're not on trial for your innocence here. That's already been proven. I've already heard the story. What I'm saying, I think, at the end of this is, why are we continually giving this dude a platform to speak on this situation? I mean, it's a self-defense story, but at the end of the day, like I said, I don't think this kid should be getting as much praise and recognition. I mean, I've seen him on like Candles and all these 2A guys praising this kid because we just want any excuse for a righteous shooting. But to be honest with you, I mean, my point being, the kid should have never been out there, and his testimony proves that too. When he starts fucking crying and he's traumatized from the situation, he ain't cut out. He ain't cut out for that type of life. You fucking do this thing, okay? You stick with it. Now you're crying about it on national television on trial. It's just, I don't know. It's pathetic.
It was a skateboard. You know, does that warrant deadly force with a skateboard? Yep. Well, I don't know. When he hits you with the trucks and it hits you so hard that it leaves an indent in your skull, that's deadly force. That warrants deadly force in return.
Yeah.
Like a crowbar.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, and that was another thing that talking to you yesterday at Shell Shock when we were talking about just real quick, and you're like, yeah, I still got a dent in my head from it. You want to feel it? And I was like, holy shit, that is significant. But
my name's Kyle. I got a dent in my head. Want to feel it?
That explains everything.
Right, just like those are the details that there's 2 ways to tell the story. Like you can gloss over it, and it doesn't seem maybe that bad, and then you get in the details. You're like, that is a wildly different story. In a weird way, like the same narrative, but the details tell a wildly different story.
And then when they're left out, it paints a different narrative.
It does.
Right.
Next time, stay at home when there's riots going on. Let the cops deal with it. This kid should have been nowhere near. I think he should have got charged with something. But at the end of the day, he made it out and wasn't charged with anything. He's just free doing podcasts. Congratulations. I say fuck Kyle Rittenhouse. And with that, we are going to listen to the all-time heaviest band that you could ever listen to. Ladies and gentlemen, let me see here. I'm going to bring it up for you. Because guess what? They now have their music, at least they have it on YouTube. Thank God. I don't know. Maybe not for long. But here we go. We're going to listen to Strangled, and we're going to listen to some Sleep, ladies and gentlemen. Heaviest band of all time. Thanks for coming to the Show No Mercy show. I'm your host, Bodega Joe. Thank you for coming out. We love you guys. Until next time. Strangled with Sleep.
Spectacle of fearsome acts. Somebody steals from me, I cut off his hands. He offends me, cut out his tongue. He rises against me, cut off his head, stick it on a pike. Raise it high up so all in the streets can see. That's what preserves the order of things. Fear.
Jamaican dandana. You understand? Jamaican road man.